What if I told you Canada may be building a digital payment rail that could quietly challenge parts of the banking system and almost nobody's talking about it? While retail traders chase volatile coins looking for 10 times returns, a very different story may be developing underneath the market. One centered not on speculation, but on settlement. And if this infrastructure scales, it may affect how Canadians move money, avoid foreign exchange friction, and even interact with crypto every day. Today, we're breaking down the QCAD opportunity, how this Canadian stablecoin actually works, where the utility may emerge, and why the real opportunity may not be where most people are looking. Because by the end of this video, I want to show you why a token designed never to go up in price may still be one of the more important developments in Canadian crypto. To understand why this matters, start with a simple fact. Most crypto today runs on US dollar liquidity. Over 90% of global stablecoin volume is dominated by US-based coins, primarily USDT and USDC. That means even many Canadian crypto users indirectly operate through the US dollar, often paying hidden foreign exchange spreads, conversion costs, or settlement friction they barely notice. And those costs compound. A 2% FX spread on a $10,000 transfer is $200 lost before you even invest. That is part of the inefficiency QCAD attempts to solve. QCAD is designed as a Canadian dollar-backed stablecoin where one token represents one Canadian dollar held in reserve. Unlike Bitcoin or XRP, it is not meant to appreciate. Its purpose is transfer efficiency, settlement, and digital liquidity. And that changes how you should think about it. Not as an investment, but as infrastructure. Now here is where many viewers may ask, why would I use this instead of Interac eTransfer? Fair question. Because for domestic casual payments, Interac works. But QCAD starts becoming interesting where traditional rails become slower, more expensive, or simply unavailable. For example, cross-border payments. Canada sends billions annually through remittance flows and international payments. Traditional remittance providers often charge between 3 and 7% fees. On a $2,000 transfer, that can mean losing $60 to $140. Using blockchain settlement rails with a stable asset potentially compresses that dramatically. That is not theory. That is a payments use case. Second, exchange settlement. Suppose you move CAD from your bank to an exchange, buy a US stablecoin, deploy it into crypto markets, then later unwind back into Canadian dollars. There can be multiple fee layers: exchange spread, conversion fees, withdrawal fees. A Canadian native stablecoin could reduce some of those layers. And reducing friction is often where major financial systems evolve. But there's a third layer most people miss: 24/7 settlement. Banks do not truly operate in real time. Blockchains do. Traditional systems close ledgers. And that matters when markets move fast. Imagine needing collateral posted at midnight on a weekend. Traditional banking may fail there. Programmable digital dollars may not. That is why institutions care about stablecoins. Not because they are exciting, because they are efficient. Now let's make this practical. How could a beginner actually use QCAD? Step 1 would likely begin through a regulated Canadian exchange supporting the asset. You deposit Canadian dollars and convert them into QCAD at par. $1 becomes 1 QCAD. Step 2 is custody. You could leave it on the exchange for simplicity, but a supported wallet allows direct peer-to-peer transfers. Think of it like digital cash stored in a crypto wallet instead of a bank app. Step 3 is usage. You can transfer value directly wallet to wallet, use it as settlement capital, potentially route it into decentralized applications as ecosystems mature, or use it as a volatility buffer without leaving blockchain rails. That last part matters, because during volatile markets, traders often rotate into stablecoins to reduce risk. For Canadians, doing that in a Canadian dollar stablecoin may avoid unnecessary currency exposure. And now we get to the deeper opportunity, because this may not just be about payments. It may be about Canadian financial sovereignty. Today, much of crypto settlement runs through US dollar dominance. But if Canada builds credible regulated dollar rails on chain, that introduces domestic alternatives. And alternatives create optionality. That matters strategically, especially in a world moving toward tokenized assets. Because once a digital Canadian dollar exists credibly on chain, the conversation does not stop at payments. It expands toward tokenized securities, real-time collateral, merchant settlement, payroll, even machine-to-machine payments. A lot of that sounds futuristic. But so did stablecoins a decade ago. Now over 100 billion sits in them. That is how infrastructure grows. Quietly first, then suddenly. But let's deal with skepticism. Some will say, why trust a stablecoin at all? Fair concern. Stablecoins live or die on reserves. That is why transparency matters. If reserves are opaque, risk rises. If reserves are independently verified and custody is regulated, confidence improves. And that is precisely where the Canadian regulatory structure could become an advantage rather than a burden. Because compliance may be what enables adoption, not what prevents it. And oddly, the thing speculators often dislike: regulation. Maybe what makes something like QCAD useful. Now here's an angle most retail misses. There may also be yield implications. In future decentralized environments, Canadian dollar stable liquidity could potentially earn returns through lending markets or liquidity pools. That introduces a possible evolution from digital cash to productive digital cash. That is a very different conversation, and it raises a question. If your dollars could settle instantly, avoid FX leakage, and potentially become yield-bearing, is that still just cash or something more? And that is why I call this the QCAD opportunity. Not because the token will moon, but because understanding the rails early may matter before the broader market prices in their importance. Because markets often obsess over assets, while fortunes are made understanding infrastructure. And infrastructure is exactly what this may be. So is QCAD replacing cash tomorrow? No, that misses the point. The point is whether digital Canadian dollars may become another financial layer Canadians increasingly use without even realizing it. And if that happens, understanding it early is an edge. If you found value in this breakdown, subscribe to PolarByte, because next we can examine whether QCAD could compete with USDC in Canadian markets, and whether XRP or other bridge assets may actually benefit from this emerging ecosystem. And I want your take. Would you actually use a digital Canadian dollar if it lowered fees and moved instantly? Let me know below. I'll see you in the next one.